Hello, this is my presentation on teasing and bullying and teasing. A little bit of an overview for you. First, we'll go into the nature of bullying, types of bullying, what happens in childhood, what happens in adolescent years, victims, the bystander role, cause and effect, anti-bullying programs that schools have in that setting, bullying with disabilities. We'll be able to cover all these in my presentation. Okay, first up is the nature of bullying. This is repeated attempts to hurt someone. In childhood, it's mostly physical, but in the teen years, it's more verbal. And only 44% of bullying is name calling. Types of bullying. One type is physical bullying. It does short-term and long-term damage. Verbal bullying, it escalates to affect the individual target. Social bullying harms social reputation or causes humiliation. Especially in the elementary stage, I see that a lot with trying to make fun of each other at the expense of everyone else to gain more popularity. Cyberbullying, I feel like, is more in the teen stages. It inflicts harm through electronic devices because the adolescent kids these days, they have infinite access to phones and internet, and they can't really escape it sometimes. Okay, childhood. 35% of people have experienced childhood bullying. It is as harmful as child abuse. 20% experience mental health problems. In the childhood, they could also suffer a lasting decline of self-esteem. It also leads to alcohol and drug abuse. And I think we'll go farther into that later. In the adolescent years, 10 to 15% experience over 6 months of persistent bullying, so it doesn't stop. Persistent means it doesn't stop. Bullying changes the brain structure. It changes the way you think, the way you perceive yourself, and it inhibits self-doubt as well. Bullying is also linked to lower academic achievement, higher unemployment rates, depression, anxiety, PTSD, substance abuse, self-harm, and suicide. Substance abuse kind of was into childhood as well, but I feel like the biggest issue on this list is the self-harm and the suicide, because as we go and grow in the community that we have in this world, we're seeing a lot more self-harm and suicide. And like I said earlier, chronic bullying affects the structure of the brain. It goes into, we're going to talk about a thing called cortisol, which is in another slide. All right, victims. Victims themselves experience depression, anxiety, rejection, isolation, sadness, hopelessness, and despair. This also causes trust issues and problems communicating. It negatively impacts grades, concentration, appetite, and sleep. So that's what happens with the adolescents for the most part. The victims can become suicidal or retaliate with violence, and can cause increased stress hormone called cortisol, which is what I explained to you earlier, and we'll go deeper into cortisol later. Okay, what is the bystander rule? The bystander rule is that's the bystander, the people that actually see it. They are present 80% of the time, but studies show that intervening stops bullying in 10 seconds, 57% of the time. Bystanders choose to just watch and help the victim or help the bully. And most of the time it's because they don't know what to do. They see bullying and they want to either walk away from it because it's not their problem, or they just don't know how to help the kid or the person, or they decide to be a part of the group that's watching it, therefore inhibiting the bully's reaction, getting that reaction that they are seeking. Support from bystanders decreases depression and anxiety because depression and anxiety is very much so you feel alone, and that kind of helps you not be alone. We're going to go right into cause and effect. Cause. What is the cause of bullying? Well, the cause is poor parental example, neglect. They think it's normal and acceptable, and gaining power to get what they want. That would be causes. And effects. Effects. 160,000 children. My bad. Miss school for fear of bullying. They become moody, irritable, frustrated, and act tired. They feel powerless. So powerlessness is up here. Suicide and murder, they can go either way. They could either decide to harm themselves or get really upset and harm other people, which we are unfortunately seeing an increase of now in this time that we have. Anti-bullying programs. Here at my school, we definitely have some of those anti-bullying programs with lists of different objects that help us out. Tree notes. That is the first one that I put up here. Is a big anti-bullying tree, normally like up at the front of the building or wherever. They have students put notes to prevent bullying, little notes, little sticky notes here and there, which also kind of leads into random notes, which is, make random acts of kindness board. You put it up there with sticky notes, and teachers, but this is for the teachers, which is something similar to what we do. We do a little thing called Toodles, where I think it's called Toodles. I don't know, but the teacher watches the student, and the student reacts in whichever way they react. And if they're in good behavior and good standings, then we will write that on the board, and we will send it, or we put it up on a board, and they get the prizes. And then it's also something of the PAX system, like we're purple pack, or we got PAX Pride. That's another thing that we do, and it is also implemented in anti-bullying programs. Another one, which is called Kind Words All Year Round, all year long. My bad. You pull a name from a hat and keep an eye on that person all week. Then write a note. Give a note with compliments or nice thoughts to their friends. So basically, you're watching a friend in your class, and then at the end of the week, you say, "Hey, I really liked how you did this," or "Oh, hey, I really appreciated that you helped so and so with their work." Those are just different anti-bullying programs that they have available. Next up, we are going to talk about bullying with disabilities. This can be considered disability discrimination, which is illegal. Schools must provide the necessary tools for the child to learn. So as a school, we are obligated to make sure that they have every opportunity as everyone else, as all the other children. And then they can be brought up in the student's IEP, Individual Education Plan. Now this education plan is meant and put in place for the child to have support not only with the faculty, but also with the parent as well. The parent is able to come in and bring up these certain situations into their education. Like they have a problem that they can, like I said, bring anyway. Yeah, so they can be brought up in their IEP plan. So thank you so much. Thank you.